Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Selah Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Selah.
Welcome everyone to Shalvah this week, and it's been a while, so it's wonderful to be back. And today we're looking at this very popular beginning of the Ashrei prayer. This prayer that's really made up of different lines from the Psalms, and it begins with this Psalm 84 verse 5 of Ashrei, and this grouping of the Psalms is part of our services, and it was very beloved of the rabbis. The ancient rabbis said that if we could really truly say Ashrei 3 times a day, that that would that would lead us to the Messianic age. That would lead us to redemption. So why would they say that? Ashrei, the word Ashrei, that comes from the word Osher. Often it's translated as happy, and sometimes, as in some of our prayer books, it's translated as blessed. Here I translated it as satisfied, or another translation might be content, because it's not the kind of happiness. Osher is not the kind of happiness of, smiling and laughing necessarily. It's not joy in that way. It is a kind of satisfaction or contentment. So it says then here, contented or satisfied are those who dwell in your house, referring to God, your God's house. They shall praise you forever. Selah. And the word Selah, it appears a lot in biblical literature. We don't really know what it means. It's sort of a punctuation mark, and it might mean something like, "That's really true. We really believe that. That's a wonderful thing to say," or something like that. It may have even been a response that people gave when these psalms were chanted or recited. That people said, "Selah, we're with you." So, the Ashrei as a prayer, it is recited in our prayer service traditionally 3 times a day. It's once in the preliminary service, once after the morning service, and once in the afternoon service. And in the afternoon service, it begins the service, the recitation of Ashrei. So clearly, one level of the meaning is that we're gathered together for prayer and to be in God's house. Maybe in the original context of the writing of the Psalms meant the temple in Jerusalem, but it could also mean the synagogue or anywhere else that we gather for prayer. And it says there's some sort of contentment or satisfaction just from gathering together, just from being together, just from being in a place that we think of as sanctified, or a place that is at least a container for our spirits and for our efforts at prayer. And then it says, "They shall praise you forever," to say that part of contentment is praise. Part of contentment is channeling that contentment back and saying there's something behind it. There's a reason for it. And that reasoning, that comes from the divine. Our ability to be content, our ability to be satisfied, is something that comes from a divine source. And our ability to be happy, we know it waxes and wanes. Things happen. Uh, good things happen, bad things happen, either to ourselves personally or to people we love, or even just in the world in general. And those are like winds that sort of buffet us around. But contentment is something different. It's something deeper than that, not subject to the blowing of winds day to day, but something we can cultivate regardless of our individual situation, regardless of what has happened to us personally or what's happening around us. We can try to cultivate an attitude of contentment with what is. And not coincidentally, the ancient rabbis taught in Pirkei Avot, they asked this question: who is happy? And they might expect again that you would say, oh, somebody who's been very fortunate, somebody to whom good things have happened. But they say, ha-samech b'chalko, the person who is content with their lot. They're content with where they are. They're satisfied by looking around their lives and seeing blessing, seeing goodness, even if there is also badness, even if there is also difficulty and challenge. They cultivate this attitude of contentment, and that's the true way to happiness. The true way to happiness is not to seek out wonderful experiences or to close our eyes to whatever is negative in the world. It's to cultivate this attitude that we can be content with what happens. And again, the psalm is trying to teach us that source of contentment is actually divine. The things that happen to us that make us happy in the moment, those may be human. But our ability to sit and connect with our source and be content with where we are in life, that's something that maybe only can come from the divine when we sit together and try to connect ourselves to each other, but connect ourselves to that source that tells us there is contentment to be had in where we are right at this moment, right now.
So for this meditation, I thought it would be nice to play with what contentment feels like in the body. So if you'd like, I'd really like to invite you to consider lying down on the floor. We're going to be focusing on belly breathing. And what I noticed when I previewed this meditation myself is that I get a little slumpy because it's so relaxing. And when we're meditating, we want to have a nice posture, but there's also, we can have permission to lie down and really just enjoy embodied contentment and total relaxation. So I'm going to give you a moment to choose whether or not you'd like to lie down and get comfortable. So I'll give you a moment to transition. Okay, wonderful. So when you find yourself lying on the floor, first I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just feel the weight of your body against the floor and feel the floor supporting you. Really notice everywhere that's touching the floor, from the back of your head to your upper shoulders and back and your seat. What part of your legs are touching the floor? Your calves, your heels. Just really notice where your body is in space right now. And then notice where you feel your breath most prominently. And if that's in your chest, that's fine. If it's somewhere higher around your solar plexus, that's fine, or your nostrils, that's fine. Wherever it is, it's fine. Just notice. And then wherever it is, I just want you to subtly shift your focus an inch or two down from there. And notice if you can observe where your body is moving naturally a little further down to breathe. You don't have to change your breathing, you're just tracking, just gently shifting your awareness a little further down. And if your awareness is already on your belly, more the better, just leave it gently there and continue to focus on your belly. But we're not in a hurry, just journeying through our body, following our breath. So shifting your awareness to a little bit further down, a couple more inches. Just noticing what your inhalation and exhalation feel like right there. And again, shifting your focus a little further down, a few inches. And if you're not already at your belly, just shift it to right above. Slowly making your way, observing your breath down your spine. And enjoying the contentment and relaxation that comes from this observation. So now, shifting your awareness once again to focus on your belly. Notice your inhalation and your exhalation just as it is, without any effort to make it different. And I want you to notice anywhere that you could encourage your belly to totally relax. Anywhere you might be holding your belly in. We spend a lot of time holding our bellies in. But right now, you have complete permission to let everything go. Noticing your inhalation all around your belly, your generous, wonderful belly. And your exhalation. Just as your breath is right now, observing the inhale and the exhale. Doing a gentle scan of your whole body for a moment, just to make sure you're offering release to anywhere in your feet that may be holding tension, your ankles, calves, thigh muscles, your seat. Again, back to your belly, letting it go, your back, shoulders, neck, face, head. Back to your belly. Gently reminding it to let go. Watching how it inhales and exhales. Noticing how this belly breathing is affecting your state of being. You might feel warm. You might feel content. How does that feel in your body? How does it show up? Letting your belly go over and over again, continuing to remind yourself to be loose. Remembering everything your body does for you. thanking yourself for the way that you take care of it and it takes care of you. Coming back to that belly, inhaling, exhaling. And when you're ready, take a nice gentle stretch. And open your eyes, letting the light into the room or from the room into your eyes, and gently turning your head side to side. You can roll over on one side to help you transition into sitting up, or you can stay just where you are. And if you'd like to join us back on your seat, we'll chant a little bit more before we go. Ashrei Yoshvei Ve'etah Od Yechalelucha Od Yechalelucha Selah Ashrei Yoshvei Ve'itecha Od Yechalelucha Od Yechalelucha Selah Ashrei Yoshvei Ve'itecha Od Yechalelucha Od Yechalelucha Selah Ashrei Yoshvei Ve'itecha Od Yechalelucha Od Yechalelucha
So I hope wherever you are, whenever the winds blow at you, whenever things happen, that we can all return to that place of contentment, place of wholeness, the place where we can't be moved, and the place we know we're connected, that place of Ashrei. Thank you all for being with us today.